Hello, my name is Kristianna Merasty. I'm the Vice Principal at Churchill Community High School, and over the last week we delivered 59 graduation diplomas with 52 individual ceremonies. So when we do that, we roll up in a couple vehicles. We have our videographer there to video it, so the kids get a video of their grad. And then we have a stage, which is pulled on behind a trailer, and then we, myself and the other vice principal, Mrs. Rebecca Slater, run through it with the grad, what they're going to do and what's happening. We sign the waiver form, and Mr. Scott Tomporowski, the principal, makes sure the stage is all put together for them, and then we start the grad. So we go through the ceremony. We do an introduction. We have an individual speech about each graduate.
Welcome everyone to the Churchill Community High School graduation of 2020. This year we are doing things a little bit differently. Due to what's going on in the world today, we want to make sure that everybody not only is healthy and safe, but also that we take time to honor each and every one of our graduates. Her family describes her as relaxed, grounded, and calm. Taylor's motto is, "It is what it is."
And then we have a small rose ceremony, so the grad can give 2 roses to any 2 people that help them get on stage.
Taylor's nicknames are Tay and Keast. She describes herself as being kind, generous, and laid back.
And then they get the celebration hat toss at the end. So that's how we did our grad. So we did it over 6 days, and it took pretty much 6 full working days, including evenings, to get it done. But it was a pretty amazing circumstance and situation. It was very individualized. Each grad had their own moment. A maximum of 30 minutes was spent at each grad's place. Each grad was different, which was cool. We had a few grads who were drummed in by local drum groups. We had a grad whose father was terminally ill, and he was able to attend. So that was pretty heartbreaking and heartwarming because he was there and he was able to attend that. We had several grandparents there, and it was one of the most personal grads I've been to, and for me it was so nice to spend some time with the family, as I'm from Ronge, so I actually got to see people, and I think that was probably the best part of it. It was an individual circumstance for every grad. So every grad was a little different, but it was great. It was a great way to spend a week. In one day on Thursday and Friday we did 12. The 22nd we did 11. That was about the average, 12 or 11. There was one day we only did 4. We tried to arrange it by area, so we weren't driving from one end of town to the other, and that worked well until the last day. And then we were everywhere. We even went to Wadin Bay at the beginning of the week for one of our grads, and we ended the week in Sucker River, so it was very nice.
And how did you conceive of this particular solution, which I think was very effective and very heartwarming and well received? But elsewhere in the province, they're doing different things like parades and drive-throughs and stuff like that. How did Churchill CCHS conceive of this solution?
Well, the 3 administrators, myself included, sat down and tried to come up with something personal and that would work. And we decided to do individual ceremonies. This way, if we did it outside, we knew that the grads could have more people there. So we wanted to take that into effect because some of our families are larger than 2, quite a bit larger than 2. So we wanted to make sure that they were able to celebrate with their family. And then actually, we were going to do it on everybody's lawn, and then my husband said, well, why don't you just pull a stage behind you with a trailer? So what I did was talk to Rebecca and Scott, and they both agreed it was a great idea. And so I put it out to my staff, and they were they rose the challenge. Like, I think there was like 12 of us, 10 to 12 of us working on it at different times throughout the week prior, and it held up. Like I said, we made it to Wadin Bay and back, and Sucker River and back with it, so it was great.
Thanks for sharing a little bit of like anecdotes about like how it went. The person having an ill family member, of course, that's really, really powerful. Were there any other specific instances where it was reaffirmed like, wow, this was worth it?
I had lots of parents and family members come up and say this was the best grad. We had our first graduate lived in Wadin Bay, like I said, and he's the youngest out of 4. So that mom texted Rebecca that night and said it was the best grad out of 4. So that was a good way to start. And then throughout the week, we definitely heard that. We heard it like, oh, you guys should do this again, which we would never be able to do unless we were off work for a week, but it was really great. Yeah.
And do you have any message for graduates going forward that might have been given in a larger ceremony?
I think the biggest thing for our grads is to remember to be proud of who they are and where they come from. I always want them to go through life knowing to be proud from La Ronge or Air Ronge or Lac La Ronge Indian Band or Tri community, and also proud to be a Churchill graduate. I am myself a Churchill graduate, and I think we often do great things for our own community, and sometimes those get overlooked. So I want them to be proud of that and remember who they are and where they come from, no matter where they go in life. I know they will make us proud.
And final question, you said it was a team effort to make this unique solution happen. Is there anybody that you want to give commendations to for making the stage solution happen that might have gone passed over?
I think definitely Mr. Mel Menz, our industrial arts teacher, and Mr. Kelly Graham were up there making the backdrop for it, because it's a skidoo trailer, so we didn't have a backdrop, so they made that. Like all our staff that showed up just to do stuff, like Miss Joan Chow, Miss Cynthia Bird, Miss Shannon Dirksen, Miss Lindy Randall, I'm scared I'm gonna forget somebody, Mr. Doug Breakshat, like they just showed up, and Miss Denise Irving, and just helped. And it was great. It was nice to see everybody too, but it was just like, yes, you need help. And they just showed up, and it was awesome.
Well, thank you for taking the time to devise this solution and keeping everybody safe, and also for agreeing to be on camera outside of your house. You could have taken the easy road out and had me call you from the radio station, but you would not do that to your students. So one of the best here. Thank you, Kristianna.
You're welcome.